Boom! I found the smoking gun. I've put it all in the description box. Make sure when you click on the Wikipedia pages to do with the two voting machines, the Smart Tech or whatever it's called, and the Dominion one. Click on everything in blue. Click on every highlighted link in blue. And it exposes everything, and it's going to blow your mind. Those codes from yesterday, my own mind is blowing. Obviously, clearly I'm not dead yet, so... So the Dominion voting machine that was used in the last election is owned by a MAGA Republican who's also Canadian, I think, or like his company is owned by Canada and America, and the voting machine, the Dominion voting machine, was used in the Canadian elections. Their sister company, the Smartech or whatever it's called, was responsible for the Starmer's elections, and it's owned by a Labour lord. I'm not even joking. The software is Microsoft, so that's why Bill Gates is in on it. Because remember, he had to buddy up with Bill Gates. All the people that Trump had to buddy up with after he got in were all the people that were helping him rig the election. Musk, Palantir, Gates, all of it. These voting machines have been connected to the elections in Bolivia, Slovakia, I think it's Slovakia or Slovenia. It's all there. Venezuela. It even mentions the whole Maduro thing. So this is why they've all been helping each other. They were all in on it. They've all been in on it. And I've just found the smoking gun that proves that Starmer had help winning his election. And it's why he let Bill Gates come in to sell his fake meat and all that, because it's Bill Gates' software that they used. The back door that they found was by getting into the software. Because remember, he can use his space lasers. Elon Musk said to Ashley, he used his satellites and space lasers, and they were saying, all the fact checkers, he didn't use Starlink and blah blah blah. He hacked the Microsoft software, and he said that the electronic voting machines were too easy to hack. That's because he hacked into the Microsoft software to do it, and Palantir and all that covered it up, and Gates and that, they all covered it up. I found the flip-flap-flopping, smoking gun. I've got goosebumps. I've just proven that Canada, most of Latin America, Great Britain, I wonder what voting machines they used in France and Germany and all that. So that's how he did it. Because they said he found a back door he bypassed, needing to use like that, Starlink, the internet. He hacked the software. They used Microsoft. He hacked the bloody software. That's how he did it. That was the back door. When you click on the links, the people that own the voting machines are Labour peers and MAGA Republicans. I even found an article about Elon Musk and Tommy Robinson being responsible for inciting the violence in Belfast, which is exactly what I said, because remember, they were trying to kick off a civil war. That's exactly what I said. Remember when he did the march in London, and I said him and Musk are trying to kick off a civil war. And remember, Musk said it's only a matter of time before there's a civil war, and I said that's because that's exactly what they're planning. It wasn't prophecy. He was letting you know what their plan was. So Musk and Robinson are responsible for the stabbings in Belfast. They incited the violence. So I was right about everything, but bigger than that, I found the smoking gun. So those codes that I got yesterday when he messed with my phone, when he said, when they said that Carney's election was rigged, Trump's election was rigged, Starmer's election was rigged, Macron's, von der Leyen's, Maduro's. It's because Dominion, they named all the countries, the Philippines as well. There's a list of countries where they use those machines. I can't believe I did it. I can't believe I unlocked it. You're not going to believe it when you click on the links. I can't believe I was right. So Starmer isn't the legal Prime Minister of Great Britain. Donald Trump isn't the legal President of America. Mark Carney isn't the legal Prime Minister of Canada. I can't believe it. I figured out how they rigged it without it being traced back to Starlink. But there's some stuff in there that directly links Starlink and Palantir to the control of democracy in America. I've put the links in. Have a look for yourself. But when you get to the 2 Wikipedia ones about the 2 voting machines, click on every name mentioned, highlighted in blue, and that the guy who owns it now, Scott Linendecker, and all that, research him. It's going to blow your mind. And they thought they were going to get away with it, but because they mess with my phone and my social media, they keep saying I have no views on my videos. And then I look at the viewing count and it says the viewing count, but I get likes, but apparently no views. So they're messing with my social media, so God just keeps pulling the veil back even more. I'm putting myself more and more in danger the more I uncover and whistleblow, but like I said, I have nothing left to lose. I lost the love of my life, I lost my boys, I've lost everything, so it's like if I go down, I'm going down fighting. As long as I get to see them in handcuffs. If my death results in Christopher Black, Martin Arche, and Elon Musk and Donald Trump and Keir Starmer and that being hauled off in handcuffs, then it was worth it. And I've lived a good life in the last couple of years of it, and then I'll get to be with Amber. So, I'm not afraid. I want to be known as someone who wasn't afraid to defend God's truth in order to protect humanity from the most evil people running our countries that world history has ever known. And if anything I do protects the pure and innocent, if anything I do takes even one of them down and holds them accountable, especially God, please let it be Elon Musk, Keir Starmer and Christopher Black. If anything I said or did holds even one of them accountable in my death, then it was worth it. Just protect my sons and support my sister, that's all I ask. So, and it means that this is all going to come back on them now for everything that they did to Vladimir Putin. The lies that Bezos and Zuckerberg and Gates and whoever owns Google now and Musk and all that, the lies and the propaganda that they spread in order to cause a war because they own social media. the funding of neo-Nazis like Tommy Robinson, who was put into position in order to bring down his own king. Please, Lord, let them all be held accountable. But the thing is, by pulling the veil back now, when these people are held accountable, they'll have to run their social media the right way. Otherwise, they'll end up swinging from a rope. Because that's what's going to happen to most of them that end up at Nuremberg. They'll get the death penalty. Life in prison or the death penalty. I need to look up to see if there's any crimes bigger than high treason. Because this is bigger than high treason. This is war crimes on a global scale. This isn't just like a couple of Nazi, Hitler supporting countries like Italy and Japan and all that. This is everybody. This is everyone against Iran and Russia. This is the whole world against Iran and Russia because they're trying to stop the pedophiles. And I am of Iranian descent. And I've loved Russia my whole life. So I'm standing in God's truth. I'm speaking God's truth. And if it costs me my life, then so be it. Just like I said, be there for my sons. Because their father is going to become the most hated man in history, along with people like Elon Musk and Keir Starmer and all the rest of them. Their father is not going to be able to get a job. He's going to end up having to live under a bridge. Like, if he doesn't end up in prison, the whole world is going to know his name and what he's done, because he took the side of the people who rigged the elections. He is responsible for the reason why you lost your EBT cards, why you lost your houses, why you've lost your farms, why you've lost your businesses, why your people got vaccinated and dropped dead from the COVID vaccinations, why your kids have been kidnapped, why the organs of soldiers on the battlefield were harvested, why people have been kidnapped and abused to have their organs harvested. Christopher Black was responsible for that because he wanted what I was building, because he was that hateful and jealous. He hated the fact that I was bettering myself and I lost weight and I was getting attention from men, and I was creating things that he was never in a million years going to be able to create on his own. He hated the fact that my body was getting attention and that I was getting fit and healthy. He hated me for the fact that I left him. I bruised his narcissistic ego because I ended our marriage the day he told me he never loved me and never wanted children. So it's a bit of an insult that I went through all of that and my kids ended up taking the side of their father, but they don't know any better. Because when you're being fed that stuff, you know, so if anything happens to me, blame Christopher Black. And protect my sons, because he's going to become the most hated person in Great Britain. He won't be able to go anywhere. If he's ever free, he won't be able to go anywhere. He's the reason why people are in prison now for posting hurty words on social media. He's the reason why they shut up grooming gang inquiries. Excuse me. He's the reason why energy prices have been hiked up. He's the reason why people are having to choose between petrol and food. Because he tried to stop me. It slowed me down. I would have gotten to this conclusion a lot sooner if I hadn't have had to deal with his lies and that one phone call he made to the police when he lied and said that I was suicidal. However, I understand how this works. It had to happen so that I could become the supernatural badass that I am now. In my having to fight for survival, and my having to do my own investigation to clear my name, it made me in control of the God particle. I got the keys to the universe, and now I'm using it to bring the house down on his head. To bring the house down on all their heads. Because he helped them cover up rigged elections. That's what you need to understand. This isn't just about the fact that he was protecting pedophiles and child groomers and all that. This isn't just about the fact that they were all hiding fetishes and their true sexual identities and their orgies and sex parties and their sexual predation. This isn't just all about that. Because of him, elections got rigged. Wars got started in Iran and Russia. Millions of people have died since he tried to kill me that day in June 2022. All because he never forgave me for the fact that I bruised his ego when I ended our marriage. And he'd been plotting and planning with my students and my husband and that ever since. So they are all responsible for what's going on in the world now, because if they hadn't did what they did, I would have figured this out a lot sooner and I would have built my school by now. I would have been saving children's lives. There'd be less child suicides in this world if I had built my school by now. So if anything does happen to me, please be there for my boys Thomas and Gabriel, because it's not going to be easy for them. Do not hold them responsible for the sins of their father. They're good boys. They've just been brainwashed. It's not their fault, so don't hold them responsible. They're good boys. And they're everything to me. But more importantly as well, just don't take it out on them. Don't take it out on my boys, what their father's done. And please be there for my sister Erin, because I guarantee you she'll be a wreck. And I always have and I always will stand by Russia and Vladimir Putin, and so does God, and so does King Charles's own family. His mother, his grandmother, his great-great-great-grandmother, his great-great-great-great-great cousin, I think is Elizabeth I's cousin, like distant cousin or something. He's related to her through Queen Mary of Scots, I think. The Stuart bloodline. They're cousins or something through the Stuart bloodline, I think. So, just brace yourself. When you click on this stuff, now that you know everything that I've told you since that code drop yesterday, just brace yourself. Because every election that we've had since 24-25 has all been a lie. Then none of them are legally elected officials. I'm pretty sure it goes back to around about 2020, but every time, all my investigations into this since yesterday, it's sort of between 24 and 25. So von der Leyen, Zelensky, Carney, Starmer, Trump, Macron, Mers, they shouldn't be in power. I hate to say it, but it looks like Kamala Harris was probably supposed to be President. Not that she would have been any better. But they made her look bad on purpose. They knew Trump was going to get in. It's like Musk's son said, Trump will win and nobody will know. But because he's a kid and he's pure and innocent, I've been able to prove what he said by using his words against his own father. Because now I've done the investigation into those voting machines, I know exactly how how Trump did it. I know exactly how Musk did it, but he needed Bill Gates' help, and he needed the help of that the Labour dude who owns that one machine in Great Britain, and the MAGA dude who owns the Dominion machine. And he used his space lasers to hack into Microsoft, which is the software they used. And that's how he did it. Ba-dum, boom, boom. So I'm going to go and have a coffee now. But yep, there you go. I don't know if the investigation's over and done with yet, but they shouldn't have messed with my phone or my social media. Their biggest mistake was coming from my phone and my social media, because I just doubled down. And I just put the codes in, I say, what do I do? And then I get the input, do this. But I got woken up. It's time. It's time, I said. Input. Look up election machines. And I followed the rabbit hole, and here we are. I just love the fact that they're all going to have to pay back Russia for everything they stole from them, everything they blew up. The pipelines, the oil, the refineries and that, they're going to have to pay for it all. They're going to have to remove the sanctions. They're going to have to pay back all the money they took from those sanctions, all the money they're holding in those banks. Remember when Orban refused to let them get access to that 90 billion? They'll have to give that 90 billion back now, because it's all been stolen by thieves and liars and illegally elected officials. And it's all because of me and my physics. You got all those people working at NASA and CERN and in the military and that, with all their trillions going into what they're trying to build and have access to, trying to fake this God particle and opening portals to aliens and all that bullshit, just completely lying to people as a way to launder money. And here I am in a holy t-shirt and undies and bare feet. My hair's not even brushed. Living like a pauper. I'm as poor as a church mouse, and yet look how powerful I am. But then, having said that, Jesus had money thrown at him and he just gave it away. He sat in a robe and sandals, didn't he? So that's why we call it the walking the Christ path. So I'm going to go and have a coffee now. But yeah, when you click on the 2 Wikipedia links to do with those voting machines, brace yourself. You're going to have to clutch your pearls and get a whiskey, because you can't unsee the truth now that I've pulled the veil back. And if you want to get justice, don't use violence, please. Use the law. Use torches and pitchforks, not violence. Just coups and revolutions, that's it. If enough of you go in there and drag them out of their houses and parliament and that, they won't have a choice. Use the law against them now that I've handed you the key on how to take down every criminal running our countries all over the world. Now you know what to do. Now you know what to use against them. If you can find out what voting machines they used and look who owned them, look to see who they're connected to. I'm telling you now, they'll all be connected to each other in one way or another. especially if they're allowing people like Musk and Palantir and Bill Gates into their countries. Chances are it's because they helped them rig the elections. And their way of scratching their back for scratching theirs will be by letting them have access to the laboratories and the food and the AI and the phones and the security and the military and this, that and the other, because they're hiding their secrets for them. But now I've armed you with the knowledge, you know what to do. I'll speak to you later. Ka kite anō.